As we can see here, we got a little bit of damage on my truck. Random normal city bus decided to like slide against, boom, and I saw it with my eyes. I have made the executive decision not to go forward with the suing process of the insurance. My main concern is because the way that my truck was parked was facing traffic. So I know that they're going to blow that out of proportion and make it something that it's not. Worst case scenario, they might countersue me. I don't know. The point is that I'm not going to stress about that because I have been like really positive and happy lately. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it go and spend like the 20 bucks that I just spent right now to fix it myself. Of course, I cannot stress this enough. Do not do this at home, or else I'll cut you. If you got like a repair that you need, get like a professional to do it. You probably shouldn't do it yourself. Well, what you did see right here is I took some degreaser, I completely cleaned off the area, and now I'm going to apply some nice good old-fashioned paint and primer. Okay, so it says directions, painting conditions, clogging, cleanup. Where the fuck are the directions? Of course I read the directions right after I've already put on the first coat. Now if you've never seen this before, this is clear coat. This is like spray paint with the color of water. So you can basically spray it on, and the reason why I'm putting this on is because it's going to protect the paint. So well, I fucked up. There's a tiny little bit of overpaint. That's because I put, the 3 coats of paint on it, and those I took my time, I slowed down. But as soon as I, hit it with the clear coat, I started getting a little bit too excited. I was like, come on, let's get this done. And I put a little bit too on, so I fucked up on that. And now I'm starting to think, I'm kind of thinking of this kind of like Leonardo or Michelangelo, of like painting. And now that I fucked up, I'm trying to think of how I can fix it, because the overpaint is like a bulge out, right? So I'm thinking if I put maybe a few more coats on top of the bulge, then maybe if I make it thick enough, but not too thick, if it can cover up the bulge. It's taking forever. There's some chalk on the ground. I don't know what we got here, but we got something. Update, I have put on my jacket, sweater, hoodie thing because it's starting to get really cold out here. And I do want to make it painfully clear that I completely understand that it's not going to look like you're going to be able to notice like what I did in like fixing it. Because the only way that you can have like paint look exactly the same as like that white to that white to that white is to have them all in the same batch. That's literally the only way that you can have it like perfectly to make sure that it looks like exactly the same. So I mean, you're really gonna have to like look at it. But like even like the camper, the topper, the shell on there, it's a different white. So if you like look at it, you can see that it's like a different white, but it's just like you really have to look at it to like notice it, even like in the broad daylight. I really want to do this, so I'm gonna do it. I cleaned it up. It's amazing that that one little tube turned into this huge ball of paper. I guess it's kind of like when you're out in the cold and you're looking down on it and you're just like, geez. Then you see like a pretty girl walk. Well, here's the final product. Now you don't have to look too close at that to notice that that's on a whole different level, all on its own. But I actually saw a fucking deer earlier.
Bro, this little dude. That little dude right there. That little baby deer scared the living crap out of me.
And now I'm gonna talk about XXXTentacion, the boy. XXXTentacion. Now this is gonna be my personal opinion. Paul Frazier's personal opinion. And honestly, I am so glad that they got that nigga. Like, I'm so glad that they laid him out flat right in front of his I-8. Because, like, obviously, clearly, duh, I've heard his music before, and my personal honest opinion, that's some good shit. He made some good ass shit. But like, when I seen like the documentary that his mother made about him, and like I seen how calm she was, how she wasn't like a stray, she wasn't like struggling about losing her son. I was like, I knew that something was up. And to like actually see like his girlfriend, like his girlfriend was like the homeless, you know, she was like homeless like when she was 17. And then I can't imagine her life going from that to like dating like a superstar and like him just beating her mercifully. Like, look at this picture of her face of what he did to her.
So you just look at her left eye, man.
That's my personal opinion on XXXTentacion. And now I'm completely done with it. I'm done talking about it. I just want to like give you my like, because like it seems that like every single time that you say the name XXXTentacion, oh God, he was this, he was so amazing, this and that. And it's just like looking like behind the curtain. I was like, damn, he was a real piece of shit. Oh, now on to more positive things. I was thinking about like how perfectly like my job matches up with like my truck. Like this thing that I've created that you can see in the reflection of my house, my truck. This thing that like I personally build that like no one can take away from me is like yes, if I do miss 3 months of payments, of course they can repossess my truck. Of course. Duh, I've had it happen before in the past. But like with my apartment, it's like living in an apartment in North Hollywood. Like the apartment that's like on the street. It's just like everyone can have like their dirty little fingerprints all over like that. Like even like you've seen, like I had that problem with like that homeless guy that was living out front and screaming at me this, and like him always fucking there. It's like I had no true control, no true power in like living in an apartment, because an apartment is like in a building. And if you don't own the building and you're simply renting it, it's like you have zero power. But now that I'm like living inside of my truck, a vehicle that's financed, meaning that I'm going to pay it off over time and I'm literally going to own it. It's going to become a piece of my property. And then matching it with my job, because my job is clearly with the, probably not clearly, it's with the filming industry and I do security for that. And it's just like you move literally consistently from point A to point B to North Hollywood to Lancaster to the center of Los Angeles to all around Los Angeles, basically all of California. And if I still was living in my apartment, it's just like that point A from the apartment to the point B being the job. It's just like I realized I would be burning so much gasoline if like consistently going back to my apartment. This is a very crude map that I drew. The difference between living in an apartment or living like Larry. Living like Larry. Living how I live. So you see these lines, right? This is point A, this is the apartment, and this is point B, being the job. So if I have to travel like an hour and 20 minutes to like work, this is going to work, and then this is coming back from work. And obviously your brain has already figured out, now that I'm living like this, it's just like I can basically live out on set. Like wherever they are, like all I do is like I drive about maybe 15 minutes away. So, you know, basically no one sees me. I drive about 15 minutes away from like wherever the job is, and I find a nice, safe, secure location, and then I can go out, and then like I go back to work. Like this is like day 1, day 2, day 3. And then, like it kind of shocked me of like how much gas I'm going to be saving, like rather than, you know, going back and forth from the apartment to the job, from the apartment to the job, rather than like how I'm living right now. Now I can basically like travel as far as I possibly want to. I can take up all the work that no one wants. Like if it actually is like a site that's like an hour and 20 minutes away, like shit, I can actually take that, because like I'm going to be spending less gas than anybody else who is actually going to be traveling out to work. I actually did the math for it, and if you do factor in still traveling from point A to point B, making that first initial hour and 20 minutes out to work, the difference between the next 3 days is I would spend either $60 in gas, or I would spend $22.75 in gas. The last notable thing that I want to bring to the vlog is that I'm starting to take my finances very seriously right now. Because I realize like I don't know exactly to the T of like all the money that I'm spending out, all my automatic payments, because like say like for like my phone or something like that, like it's already automatically set up, and I have 2 bank accounts, right? So there were the automatic payments, there was like 3 on this account and then 5 on this one. And I was like, why the hell am I using 2 different fucking bank accounts? So what I did earlier is I've already moved my phone and my gym membership to the main account. And I was trying to get for the laptop my Curacao credit card. I was trying, but it's just like, oh, invalid. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna worry about that later. So now the only automatic payment that's left in the secondary account is the Curacao credit card, which later on I'm gonna figure out how to. But now that I'm gonna have I'm gonna tally everything up, all my automatic payments, the truck payment, the insurance, all that, and then I'm going to find the total. So now I'm going to be able to know how much money do I need to deposit into the main account every single month at the beginning of the month, to make sure that there's money inside of there, and then seeing how much money I have like left over, to really understand my finances. Because yes, everybody wants to be rich, but it's like when you get like $1 million, like in that bracket, it's just like, do you really know your finances of like who's like, is there a person embezzling money from you? Are you embezzling money from yourself? Are you just like throwing money everywhere? So like right now I'm trying to start very, very small to actually understand these finances. So later on when I'm older and I have more money, then I can have like a better understanding of what like money really is.